ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here, it's the Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I am doing great, Andre. It's been a fun day today. I got company today. Got some people staying over for the weekend. It's been nice to have some company in the house. I had a good gym day. My butt hurts. It's a good day. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Work today. I got my gym days tomorrow, so
Fair.
yay, yay. But yeah, I'm doing good. Work today. Got an incredible deal on power tools today at my work because we're closing, and yeah, I got them for a goddamn steal. Let's just say that
Hey.
I did not steal them. I paid for them, but it felt like I was stealing because the amount I paid was like holy shit. I got a 500 and some dollar tool for like a fraction of the price.
Hey, that's what we call frugal. You need that in
Yep.
this day and age.
Yep. But we're not here to talk power tools. We're here to talk some professional wrestling. Right?
I
I
hope
think I
so.
think I think so.
I hope so. That's what I showed up for.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm wearing my Catch 22 shirt, courtesy
Yeah.
of Melball getting me this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spoiled you are.
I very much am. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk some New Japan. Before we do, we want to thank each and every one of you. We really do appreciate you joining us here, whether it's on our channel, Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, with on some backbreaker video, or if it's on Sunday night's main event on the audio form. We appreciate all the great support. So if you're on either our or ours or Mike's YouTube, please like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello. And if you're listening on Sunday's main event, please give a follow to the channel. Check out and you can subscribe to us on all the different platforms that are out there for all the podcasting things. And don't forget to check out the Patreon for Sunday's main event, patreon.com/SNME radio. Lots of great content coming there. Revamping it this year to give a lot of great new content to the people. But with that said, I think it's time to talk some new Japan.
Yeah.
Yes. We
Yeah.
were kicking it off. It is the excuse me, the New Japan New Beginning tour. And we're kicking off the first night of the tour is New Beginning in Nagoya. Um, we're gonna kick it off with we're not gonna do every match on every show.
hmm
We're giving the top matches per show. We're kicking it off. It is the New Japan Pro Wrestling King of Pro Wrestling 10-minute Ishimori ring fit match. Now, of every match I watched for this tour so far, this might have been the best time I have had watching a wrestling match and just pure joy in so long.
Yeah. I have to agree. This match was like, I thought when like both of the men involved that it would be a little bit more of a serious match, but it ended up being this just brilliant show of athleticism for both of them, but then also this like kind of little bit of a comedy match, sans Yano. And it was tremendous. I really actually I didn't expect to enjoy this match. I expected to be confused more than anything. I actually really enjoyed it. Take us into it, man.
Sorry, I was muted. I was coughing. Um, so they introduced the rules. There's 3 minute, 10-minute match, 3 minute intervals, 3 minutes, and then there's a 30-second break, then another 3 minutes, and a 30-second break, another 3 minutes, 30-second break, and then the final minute. And you have to do high intensity training between each segment. HIT. I don't do it myself really. I don't think, but I don't know. I superset. I don't do high HIT. I know that. So the winner is the last person to have possession of the belt. So you get the pinfall submissions in this match. It's essentially like a scramble. So the last person to get a pinfall or submission gets to win. And just as I'm saying this, the last person in possession of the belt. I'm going to say that clearly, in possession of the belt.
Mhm.
Um, Con powering him around early on, throwing him around. Gets a rear naked choke, but Ishimori gets the ropes. They get to the first intermission. And because Khan was chasing him around the crowd for the last like minute, they have to do 5 hops, jumps, then 10 like high knees, and then 10 burpees. So Ishimori's done in like half the time, and Khan it takes almost the entire time to get it done. He's done with like a couple seconds left, I'd say.
Mhm.
He's pretty winded, so they're going back and forth again in the match. Like Khan dropped him with a hard strike, but he's like, I'm just gonna take a break here and just catch my breath. It is very much it catches the beautiful point where he caught that handspring back elbow and turned into the soup and like flips him around and suplexes him.
Mhm.
But he takes him forever to crawl for the cover because he's winded as hell. And
I
only
mean, yeah.
Yeah. He gets the arm triangle choke, trying to submit Ishimori, but time runs out. They go to second intermission, so they got 5 push-ups, 10 knee crunches, and 15 squats. Ishimori's push-ups were kind of suspect. Like he was just like,
He was like almost like pulsing push-ups as
yeah.
opposed to like a full push-up. He wasn't going all the way up.
No, he was like maybe like quarter push-ups at best.
He was bouncing though. I don't know if he was really using the spring of the board or like the ring to kind
Yeah,
of help him a little bit, but he was kind of bouncing. So
yeah,
maybe that could mean he was like making a bit more effort. I don't know.
yeah. So Khan barely gets this one finished. Like he is dead by the end of this. So Ishimori tries to whip Khan, and Khan just like falls over during when he's going. Ishimori moves the corner pad, runs Khan through the ropes into the post, gets a jumping like double knee arm breaker. He gets roll ups and applies the bone lock, but Khan fights and eventually gets to the ropes. We get to the third intermission, and it's 5 like jumps, like high knee jumps, then 10 jumping lunges, and then 15 mountain climbers. Like fuck, I couldn't have done this. No, just
Mm-mm,
no.
never. Who would
Ishimori went.
you anyway?
Ishimori can because he did it in like 25 seconds. He killed this. Like just like holy shit. Um Khan is going super slow, does not finish in time. They make him finish the lunges. He goes in the mountain climbers. And this is where Ishimori starts like antagonizingly kicking him. Just being a dick. And it was just you can see Khan's mountain climbers because of how slow he was doing them. By God, was that funny.
It was. I mean, like he was winded though going into the first set
Mm-hmm.
because he was busy chasing Ishimori around the ring and he was just never able to really catch
No.
his breath because Ishimori is just that athletic. He can just go, go, go. He wasn't sucking wind in the same way that Okan
No.
was, that's for sure.
No, and again, it's also a junior versus a super heavyweight
Hmm.
in conditioning training too. There's very different conditioning with these two. So
100%.
we go into the final minute. Khan ends up punching Ishimori in the chest to stop a belt shot. He reverses the Mystica into a sheep killer, but Ishimori reverses into the bone lock. But Khan then hits an eliminator with 5 seconds left, grabs the belt, and the match ends. And the ref declares Khan the winner. Nobody's gotten a pinfall, but the rule states the last person you can win by pinfall submission or the last person in possession of the belt. So Khan was holding the belt, won the bell ring, and he
He
is the winner.
was. No, grabbed, holding. I don't think necessarily the right words to describe.
Mm,
He definitely like timberfalled like a tree in the forest on top of the thing, and that was the end of it. He was completely spent. He was
mm,
done. He could go no mo.
mm,
And yeah, I was equally excited and confused about the ending of this match because by all intents and purposes, Ishimori had this match in his pocket.
mm.
This was made and constructed for his benefit.
Yeah.
And I was actually a little disappointed to see him lose it right away,
Mm-hmm.
just because I feel like the KOPW belt especially has really struggled with the, what's the word I'm trying to look for? Prestige.
Hmm.
To find prestige in this company, just because it's kind of, I don't want to say it's been a joke, because it has had moments of like, actual relevance when Shingo and Taiji were fighting for it last year. But man, I don't want to see it start to squander in this one, especially because we've already got the trios belts kind of sitting there in limbo dimbo. And then we've also got the Never Openweight title is a little suspect right now too. So I'd hate to see it kind of start to falter, especially when they really do need to amp up these title belts, losing some of our big guys. So yeah.
We'll get into that Never Openweight division. I got some words to say about that when we get to the main event.
Oh, okie dokie.
Yeah. So we are going to move on. Second match on the January 20th show. It's the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team title match. It's just for the blue belts. I was hoping they were unified. They weren't. They're being defended separately, and then they're going to defend them against Kenta, the IWGP titles against Kenta and Chase Owens on, I don't know if it's February 4th or if it's February 11th, but they're defending the titles against them too, again. So I'm like, this is just stupid, but okay.
What isn't the cage match on the 11th also?
It might be on one of the other shows on the February half of the tour. It's probably in there because they're going into a little hiatus here because they got like a boat festival they're doing, but that's not being broadcast. It's not being broadcast, but there's a boat festival where they're doing like 3 matches per day at the boat festival. So yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe it'll end up online at some point, but
I mean, in the same way that Suzuki on the subway was. I sure hope for that.
Yeah. So Kenta, nice new haircut and dye. Looks good.
Yeah.
Cut his hair short. His hair's cut short again. And
you know who he looked like, though?
Who?
Freaking Hideo.
Well, that's him.
I know, but...
oh, I'm so confused. For a second there.
Catch the Lance Archer reference there. Don't you remember when he was yelling at him?
Oh, yeah.
You're wrestling like Hideo.
Yeah.
Explicit Hideo.
So we got the usual start from Kenta, avoiding the start, and then ELP starts doing it to Kenta, to mess with Kenta. So then Owens gets in, and he starts doing it to ELP, and it's just the back and forth. Kenta stops the line salt combo by ELP. He's going from the line salt, he just pushes him, shoves him over to the floor. Looked great. Runs him into the barricade, then into the post. Kenta and Owens tagging in and out, just beating the crap out of ELP. He fights back. It's a hot tag. But Kenta, it goes for hot tag, but Kenta pulls Hikuleo off the rope. Hikuleo finally gets in, gets the snake eyes to Owens, hits a double lariat, dropping them both. Owens gets backdropped off the package pile driver attempt, and Owens hangs on. He's like hanging on to Hikuleo. He's getting backdropped, and Kenta slams him down, and he gets a backstabber out of it. Looked actually really good. Kenta gets his hesitating drop kick in the corner. Looked really good. And then follows it up with the coup de grace. He gets a 2 count. Just really good back and forth as a team. ELP gets his swanton and lion salt to Kenta. Tornado DDT off the apron to the floor to Owens. But he ends up missing the thunder kiss in the ring, and Kenta hits the running boot. It's a green killer for 2. Big boot and UFO combo by GOD, but ELP only gets 2. Owens ends up crotching Hikuleo on the post. Kenta hits a harsh lariat to ELP. They hit the powerbomb neckbreaker combo to ELP, and Owens gets 2. ELP crotches Kenta up top, and then runs Owens running Owens into the ropes. Then hits sudden death to Owens for 2. Then hits a burning hammer, but Kenta tries to stomp to break it up, but ELP avoids, and he stomps the shit out of Owens. Hikuleo then hits the choke. Oh, what?
No, I just said yep.
Hikuleo hits the choke slam to Kenta. ELP hits CR2 to Owens, and the champions retain the Strong Openweight Championships.
This was a fun little tag match. It's kind of like, I don't want to say like the leftovers of Bullet Club, but that's kind of what Owens, Kenta, and Ishimori do kind of feel like right now, but they have such experience between the three of them. Seeing two of them in the ring was just a treat. Owens and Kenta wrestled so smart and so well together. I've always enjoyed both of their in-ring stylings and stuff. Again, it was nice to see that haircut, refreshing haircut on Kenta, because that means we're gonna get. He kind of like doesn't just do things with his hair and then keep oning. When we get a new hairstyle on Kenta, it usually is accompanied by some kind of new attitude and new persona. So I'm interested to see what 2024 Kenta is going to give us. Interesting to see them facing them again for the IWGP titles at some point.
Well, I'm just going off of what the announcers said that they're going to face for the IWGP titles. So I was like, oh, okay, interesting, but okay.
I would actually like, you know how I feel about the titles being conjoined as it is. I actually wouldn't mind seeing them drop those. That also being said, though, would Chase be doing more tours in NJPW if he does do that, or would he be coming with Kenta to the US? Because Kenta's been more based in the US too. More with like kind of wrestling under Defy and stuff. So it'll be an interesting story to see how they play it. I'm not going to lie, though, I'm starting to lose a little faith in Gato, his ability to do things, because things be thinging in a way that they shouldn't be thinging. But however, I am interested to see a second match between these guys and what kind of intensity that will bring.
Yeah, the follow-up will be on the 11th at New Beginning in Osaka show. Because you have the GOD versus Bullet Club, those Owens and Kenta for the IWGP titles. Then you got Tanahashi and Okada on that show. You have Danielson and Sabre on that show. And then you have the United Empire versus War Dogs Steel Cage.
That's going to be a good show.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for that show. Hey, Grace, we're going to be covering that as its own show on its own.
Yes, we will need to by the sounds of it, my goodness.
Oh, very much. We're going to move on to the main event of January 20th. It's a Never Openweight Championship match. Tama Tonga defending against Evil. The announcers are saying that Tama is leaving New Japan because he wants to be at home. His kids are growing up. He wants to be there with his children. He wants to be there with his wife. He just wants to be a family man. And I understand it, man. Like your family's over in the U.S. You want to be home. I get it. And there is offers on the table, probably from AEW and WWE, and maybe even like an Impact or an MLW are possible places he could land. Again, this man can go anywhere and be a top guy in any company, in my personal opinion. These guys, I think, like if you go see Impact, like it's him and Ziggler at the top of the card, in my personal opinion. Just imagine that. Yeah. Imagine those two being the top guys in that company. Yeah. So Tama actually attacks Evil as soon as he gets in the ring. They're brawling on the floor. Tama runs Evil into the barricade. The bell did ring. Tama gets the scissors to cut Evil's hair because they cut his hair a while back. But HOT taking over to the ref. The game stomped Tama. And then GOD, Umino, and Desperado, weird combo, come out to make the save for Tama. And then Red Shoes just decides I'm throwing out the match. And he's just like, nah, this is bullshit. It's the first time we've ever gotten bullshit in New Japan, and the ref did something about it. I swear.
I swear, you could hear Red Shoes wandering around going, this is some bullshit. He was not happy.
Oh, for sure. But Tama gets the mic, says they are fighting today. Says, let's make this a lumberjack match. I was expecting for him to make it. Let's make it a tag team match. Get some Teddy Long going on right there. Yeah. So we get the lumberjack Never Openweight title match. Tama Tonga, the champion, defending against Evil. Lots of like them just brawling back and forth. Guy getting sent to the outside. The other team beats on him. Evil runs Tama into the barricade and takes out Abe-san. And then he yells into the mic, he says it in Japanese, and he goes, "You're fired," in English, just trying to do his best.
That is not aging well at all
Yeah.
here.
Just to do his best old man from America impersonation, as I'm going to. That's all I'm going to say. With everything coming out, yeah, just a
Mhm.
lot of brawling back and forth, fighting on the outside. The other guys getting involved throughout the match. Again, it was actually a fairly good match because at least with the crazy, it was all legal and both teams were getting advantages throughout the match. So I didn't hate House of Torture stuff as much in this match because it was just it was meant to be that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So God give the double purple nurple to Evil.
Yeah, they even like pushed his singlet to the side to really get in on
And then
the squeeze.
tweak those nipples purple, man. Oh, so dumb. Uh,
Wrestling.
uh, Yujiro gets a pimp juice to Tama at one point on the floor. Um, and then Evil follows up with the darkness falls. The ring can only get two. What a good back and forth. Tama reverses a lariat attempt into a beautiful Tongan twist.
Hmm.
Yeah, just really good. Again, this is probably one of the best I've seen Evil work in a long while. Because again, while the craziness was happening, it didn't take away like it normally does because it all worked as part of the match because it was meant to be chaos,
Hmm.
glorious chaos. Um,
Uh-huh. Hmm.
yeah, so the ref actually gets taken out by Tama, and everyone's in and out taking each other's moves. ELP hits a assisted rope walk moonsault to the floor. Evil ends up stopping the gun stun, but Tama eventually hits one, gets the 2 count. Then he gets the DSD, the double underhook pile driver, but the ref gets pulled out. The J driller, but the ref
Hmm.
gets pulled out. Togo ends up Dick Togo gets the garrote, but Jado ends up hits him with the kendo stick, and Tama gun stuns Togo. This is where Evil pushes Tama into the ropes, where Narita hits him with the dreaded push-up bar, and
Yeah.
Evil hits everything is evil, and we get a very new champion. Oh, crap. God damn it. This title was actually like being defended by Tama and Shingo throughout and like, you felt
David
like
Finley.
a work rate title
Mm.
with those guys doing it. And now I'm hoping this dude gets some good matches in, but I have a feeling we're getting a lot of stupid bullshit.
Yeah, again, I was mentioning the KOPW title lacking some prestige. It was 2023 was a labor of love for everyone who held the Never Openweight title, trying to really push it up in the ranks there, and they really did.
Mm-hmm.
This is like 2023 was two step forwards, and this is one step back. I'm
Yep.
very concerned about what it is that's going to happen with this title. And I'm very, very concerned about what this means for House of Torture
Mm.
because nobody wants to see these guys. But most importantly, this is as great of a match that he had in this. These kinds of matches with Evil are like a once a year miracle thing that happened for
Mm.
him. There's another member of House of Torture who I personally think has a consistency that I think is going to be better than Evil's, and that is Ren Narita.
Yujiro. Oh, I thought you were going to say Yujiro.
I mean, everything is evil, anyone but evil.
That's
It's
true.
been very clear to me that over the last couple of years that House of Torture has been a thing. Evil lacks the leadership ability to rein everybody in and get shit done. The shenanigans that they're doing is not getting shit done. Their shenanigans are shenanigans because
Mm-hmm.
who's held a title, a reputable title, in this faction over those last couple of years? After Evil dropped the world heavyweight title there, they've kind of been a wow wow, like a
Mm-hmm.
punchline joke in this company.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that they touch tends to be a joke. They touch those trios titles. Look at the joke they made them. I'm very good. The KOPW title. Now look at it. I'm concerned. That being said, though, maybe if a change in leadership could help them, I wouldn't mind seeing the Never title in House of Torture. It's just it's on the wrong person. It
I
should be
agree.
on Narita.
And the thing is, I think it eventually ends up on Narita because we'll get to it when we talk about the show from the 24th. But
Mm.
yeah, I think it will could eventually end up on Narita. We'll talk
I
about that.
don't I don't want it to be about any other avenue than this one though.
No,
I want to see Narita take out and betray the illustrious leader that is evil and boot him out of his own faction. I would love
that'd
to see that.
that'd be great.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we're gonna move on. The January 21st show was just full of multi-man tags and everything. The Bullet Club, War Dogs, and the Empire. This whole feud is just burning throughout, and just you have Callum Newman and Great O'Khan in a lot of these multi-man tags
Mhm.
with the guys throughout the tour because Cobb and Osprey are not in Japan until the back half, until the, probably like the last couple nights of the tour in February. Just other commitments and stuff. But yeah,
Mhm.
again, really good undercard matches on any of all these between War Dogs and in the United Empire, like really good, but just
Mhm.
a lot of LIJ versus just five guys that just will not, that feud will not die. I guess I'm done.
No.
Yeah.
That one is getting very, very tedious to
Mm,
watch because, like, as much as I love Sonata, he can only do so much. And when
mm,
he's the captain of the team, you got somebody like Taiji, you can't have everybody else outshining who's supposed to be the leader of your company. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Taiji is a better draw in just five guys than
mm-hmm.
Sonata. And I feel
I,
that Sonata is kind of an anchor for that faction, man. What do you think about that?
oh yeah, so I feel until Sonata finds his thing to really
Mhm.
get him to be like, I get it. He is a decent presence in a match. He has the ability to like get a crowd going by clapping and stuff, but he doesn't have that fire that I get. Like I just for the first time saw it at Wrestle Kingdom, so we'll see. We'll see.
The problem with him is he needs somebody of equal or greater charisma in the ring with him to bring the charisma out of himself.
Mhm.
And we've seen tons of wrestlers who are like this. But like for him to convince us that he deserves to be on a world title level again, I need to see a step up
Mhm.
in that effortless charisma of his.
I 100% agree with you on that.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of work too. So we're going to move on to the January 23rd show, the Road to New Beginning. Again, we're only going to talk. We're only talking one match from this show, but we're going to talk the opening segment on this
Oh
show
yeah, yeah.
because this match was supposed to happen, Master Wato versus Show. But on the January 21st show, Master Wato did tear his left ACL, so he's probably going to be out probably minimum 6 months, if not
Minimum, yeah.
more. Yeah, so Wato did make his way up to the ring to address the crowd. So good on him. Good on him.
Mm-hmm.
And he says he has an injury, requires surgery. He's fighting bacteria. He said, "I will come back better than 100%, and when I do come back, I will face Show 1-on-1." I pulled a lot of this from the New Japan article on NJPW1972.com. So that's what I'm going to. So Show came out, attacked him, hit with the wrench in the knee, his mess up knee, and Show gets the mic. And he's near. It says, "What a shame." Um, and he said, made a statement of that very dubious. Um, that he was ready to face you fair and square. I was ready to face you fair and square. Bullshit. I'm just too tough that I put last year's Best of the Super Junior winner on the shelf. Technically, you can say that because he was involved in the match where Wato got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
The show was about to do more damage to the knee, but was chased off by El Desperado. and before he goes into the main event tonight against Show's partner in crime, Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Yeah. Yeah.
Poor Master Wato.
I was ready for this guy to be making his back, win his second best in Super Juniors in a row, and just climb to the top of that junior mountain. And now he better be coming back, and he better be coming back at goddamn Wrestle Kingdom to win that belt.
I mean, he'll probably be back before then, but he'll be back in enough time to set up that.
Yep.
Tranquilo.
Well, that's LIJ. That's LIJ.
I mean, Desperado did a lot of his stuff in Mexico.
Yeah, but he's still not tranquilo.
He's more tranquilo than Show.
It's true.
Yeah, the poor Master Wato just seems to be like, just when he starts to hit the ground running and starts to take off a little bit, there seems to be a little kink thing that brings him back down. But I suspect that once he comes back, he'll come back dedicated. I mean, his role model is El Presidente himself, Hiroshi Tanahashi. So I suspect that Wato will not only get the best care, but he'll come back, Kanye West, bigger, faster, stronger, however it goes.
Yeah. So we move on to the main event of the evening. It's for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. It's El Desperado defending his title against Yoshinobu Kanemaru. At least I'm not doing the thing anymore.
I mean, that's LIJ, right?
Yeah, it's true.
These are not LIJ.
No. So all of House of Torture just leave the ring, go to the back. I was very confused. Hanari thinks Red Shoes threw them out because Hanari was on commentary by this point too. And I think he did a great job in this match. Kanemaru's targeting the knee, but Desperado starts targeting Kanemaru's knee. They're working the headlock for a couple minutes and just working the knee back and forth. Fight on the floor. Kanemaru gets Desperado, catches the foot, gets him into the splits, and it's like this beautiful somersault cutter. Looks so good. Like it was like Charlotte's bow down to the queen, where you come from behind, jump over,
yes,
hit the cutter. That somersault cutter looked great.
So good.
And then he applies a camel clutch, but Despy got to the ropes. Again, Desperado gets a drop kick to the knee in the corner, then gets a dragon screw, and then gets a stretch muffler working over the knee. Kanemaru playing possum with a knee injury and ends up rolling Desperado up. Then hits a beautiful satellite DDT for 2. Really going back and forth. Desperado gets the spine buster for 2, then into numero dos, but Kanemaru gets out of it. This is where House of Torture comes out to attack, but Shota, Umino, and Hiroshi Tanahashi, Mr. El Presidente, come out and chase House of Torture off. I was like, awesome. Good. Finally.
We're going to use the word chase very loosely in this because like Shota was gung ho, let's go Leo. And then there was Tana.
It's like, come on, Dad, catch up with me, Dad.
Dad, great grandpa was freaking waddling his ass behind him. My God.
Well, yeah. I guess Dad's in the ring, so it's like, Grandpa, come on.
Daddy's in the ring, sir.
And I think Red Shoes is older than Tanahashi too.
He is, and he can walk better. Wrestling, though, I mean, I get it. Tana's knees are hoopity doopity, but it was painful to watch him. And I don't even think did he connect with anybody? I think he just spent most of the time just meandering around the ring trying to catch up with everyone.
Pretty much. So yeah. So Kanemaru takes advantage of the situation, runs Desperado into the now exposed corner a couple times. Hits the inverted DDT, goes up, and it hits the moonsault. Then applies for 2, then applies Boston Crab, then into the single leg, but Desperado gets to the ropes. Spinebuster by Despy into the angle slam, then Guitarra de Angel for 2. That's the one thing my only criticism of Walker Stewart is he doesn't quite know all the names of the signature moves yet. So he's calling him by a little bit other technical say. But I'm not going to get mad at the guy because, again, he's only been doing this for 3 or 4 months now. So he's got to learn. But Chris, I know Chris Charlton has a binder somewhere full of all the wrestling moves. Chris, get that book to your boy and get him studying. Like I love Walker Stewart's commentary. I think he did a great job. It's just he's learning. Again, he's young. He's learning. He's going to get all the moves. He's going to know what they are. Just yeah.
I love the Texas accent with the Despy.
Yeah,
saying Despy, he's Despy.
Despy. Yeah.
Wow.
Knee breaker by Desperado and the Dragon Screw into the stretch muffler, but gets rolled up again. Then the same, and then he doesn't go for it again, but then he gets rolled up again. Kanemaru misses the enziguri, and Desperado gets numero dos, but is attacked by Evil and Dick Togo because Sho and Yujiro ran off by Umino and Tanahashi. And the ref gets taken out. Desperado fights off the Magic Killer, and Tama Tonga shows up to help his boy. Help the Hantai love is strong. He tosses out Togo, and they hit Evil with the Magic Killer. I think Tama has more rights to this Magic Killer than anybody because it was his boys, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. That's where that move started. So I think he's got more rights to it than Evil does. But anyways. I know you hate that name, but that's why I said it. Desperado stops the whiskey.
WWE doing, those great main event shows, right?
You know it. Desperado stops. Yeah, Desperado stops the whiskey bottle shot, and then stopping the whiskey miss with a strike. Kanemaru hits he jackknifes through into a pin for 2 off the Pinche Loco. And then he runs him into the corner, but Desperado reverses. He gets numero dos, and Kanemaru submits.
Yes. And then numero dos, does he normally stand up like that?
For numero dos, he's captured the arms, and he stands up with numero dos. It's normally just a stretch muffler when he's on the ground. But numero dos is it's like, I don't know if it's for sure, but it's the arms trapped and everything.
Yeah,
and then he's picking him up for that extra torque, right?
Yeah, because I knew he would do the one where he trapped the 2 arms and stuff, but I thought that he would still be fairly kneeling on the ground, so the person's shoulders are still kind of on the ground. This was not the case with this one. Kanemaru was full on in the air. He had nowhere to go. He had nothing to do.
Yeah.
Tama coming out there too and pounding on the mat after. Did you see him in the foreground pounding on the mat? It was just so sweet. It didn't even look like him. He looked like a young lion cheering on somebody. It was great.
Well, the night before, wasn't it all his boys when he was setting up for a gun stun? Everybody was like,
yeah.
They were doing the thumping with him on the ring.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a whole ton to add to this. You could really tell the history between these two, especially at the beginning there, where everything that the other had an answer for. Anything Desperado tried to do, Kanemaru just kind of reversed into something else. But Desperado knew that move, so he was able to reverse that. And it was almost like a spinning around the ring at one point of them just trying to pop off whatever they were trying to pop off. Yeah, the glorious chaos in this was surprisingly tame. Again, we mentioned watching Tanahashi was actually pretty funny. The interference in here was not quite what usually House of Torture does, which I was very happy about. It was actually more, it gave an Oedo Tai feel to me. I don't know if you got the same vibe, but it was more organized chaos instead of manic chaos. I definitely feel the right person won in this one, though. As much as I really like Kanemaru and have felt that his wrestling sometimes is a little, overlooked in Japan and in New Japan, I don't feel that he would be able to carry a singles title. As good as he is, I just think that he does better, looks better, performs better, and holds titles better as a tag team or trios kind of guy. I feel like he would have had like a Sonata run with the junior belt if he was given the junior belt. It would have been a little underwhelming. And I liking Kanemaru and appreciating his work. I don't want him to fall into that same category. So I'm very happy with the result of this one.
Yeah. And again, really good. And again, I think this match was so good because these two knew each other so goddamn well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
So we move on to January 24th, and we get the match that disappointed me more than anything. The Never Openweight 6-man tag team title match. It's Chaos's Kazuchika Okada and Tomohiro Ishii teaming up with Hiroshi Tanahashi. They are the champions, defending against TMDK's Kosei Fujita, Mikey, Nicholls, and Shane Haste. Haste, when he came out, and he's literally just stared into the eyes of Saber and was twerking, I started laughing so freaking hard because he was holding eye contact with Saber while he's twerking, and Saber is just staring back in his eyes. Oh my god, was I laughing my ass off.
This is a fun little group of like guys who are just so good at what they do and have fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, and like, this was the Okada and Fujita show. Like, when these two were, these two together worked the majority of the match together. Yes. And it was just awesome. Like Fujita just not taking Okada's shit. He's going with them, just fighting him. When Ishii comes in with him, Ishii's no-selling Fujita, just chops in the corner, drops with a hard shot, just crushing him with Fujita with chops. But then Fujita fights back. He's just smashing chops into Ishii. Just so good, man. Fujita actually ends up stopping the Dragon Screw by Tanahashi, and Dragon Screws Tanahashi. I was like, yeah, let's do this. Haste gets a beautiful corner cannonball to Tanahashi for 2. Tanahashi turns the suplex by Haste into a beautiful twist and shout. Just really good back and forth. Haste and Nicholls hit the Olivia Newton bomb to Ishii off the top. Yeah, just so good. So the triple elevated DDT by Chaos and Tanahashi, then Nicholls, and then Ishii hits the sliding lariat for 2. Fujita ends up hitting the head scissors, sending Tana out. Hits the tope con hilo to Tana on the floor. Then Haste and Nicholls hit highway to hell on Ishii for 2. And Walker Stewart did call it Tank Buster, but it was highway to hell, which is the assisted suplex move. Tank Buster is that DDT move. The Tank Buster is then hit by TMDK onto Ishii, but they can only get 2. Ishii stops the Tank Buster, another attempt, and stops the Tank Buster attempt on Tana, and they hit dual Dragon Screws. I don't know. This match is going to get better. And then we got Fujita and Okada again. And they just tore it down, man. Fujita's antagonizing Okada. He gets the STF on him. Okada gets the money clip on him. Going back and forth. It gets saved out of the money clip by the backdrop neckbreaker of Nicholls and Haste. He ends up getting that beautiful deadlift German to Okada for 2, and I thought it was over right there. Mm-hmm. Okada getting his own German, misses the Rainmaker. They're going back and forth. Fujita gets this beautiful Euro clutch and gets like a 2.9 off it. Sling blade by Tana, sliding lariat by Ishii, the drop kick by Okada. He hits the scoop slam, goes up, hits the elbow from the heavens, follows it up, Rainmaker, and Kazuchika Okada, in his final defense of the IWGP Never Openweight titles, pins Fujita to retain.
Wow.
A great match. Great freaking match. But why not give the titles to TMDK? You didn't have to have Fujita pin him. You could have had Haste pin Ishii. Or Nicholls pin Ishii. Then you leave you protect the president, you protect the outgoing star. And he's the outgoing star. Why is he not taking the pin? That's the other question. But
I had all kinds of problems with this one, yeah.
But I get it. Again, I think he's going to take the loss to Tanahashi on his way out on February 11th. But like, why not have one of TMDK, have Nicholls or Haste pin Ishii? And yes, you're giving Fujita a title early, but that's not a bad thing. This kid is ready. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm very disappointed that they didn't go with the title change.
I as well, but like we've said this kind of a lot lately. TMDK is kind of those guys that everyone goes to that they know are going to have banger matches, but they won't freaking reward them for it. How many tag matches have these guys been in? And singles matches has Zack Sabre Jr. been in? Like he was the only one last year who had such a good run. And then he takes the loss to a presidente.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I love Tanahashi, but sir, you are not a double title holder anymore. You know you can't keep up with these guys. Most of the people who are older than you are doing better than you. You got to step back a bit. It doesn't look good when you take over the company and suddenly you're getting all the titles. That I understand that's a thing to do in the professional wrestling world. But like you had your time, man. And now you're the president of the company. Now is your time to reward the people like TMDK who have been holding down the frickin' fort before we start losing people on a Kazuchika Okada level. You know, how many people have we started to lose now? We have so many contracts coming into question that are negotiating right now that haven't been negotiated. How
The
many people have
entirety of
we?
War Dog? It's the entirety of War Dogs,
Right?
except Finley.
Which would be horrifying in itself. And from the show that we saw on the 25th, I think it's the 25th, 24th, or 25th.
24th.
Was it the
24th.
24th?
Yeah,
The
they had a
backstage
break.
comment.
Yeah, they had a couple. They had a break after this show, after the 24th.
Okay. So my concern is they weren't able to secure Okada. Okada's going on his own. But that being said, Okada has kind of said and done everything in NJPW. It's time for him to fly. And that's fair. But the War Dogs, that is created here. We can't be losing these guys after just starting them. This is something that needs to be nurtured. So why are we not hearing that these contracts are being redone? Why are we seeing people like Tama leaving? Why are we seeing people like Okada leaving? What does that mean for Tonga Loa? Is Tonga Loa going to be leaving as well? Or is he going to be, resigning and trying to do a singles run on his own? Like, what does this mean for Chaos? Is Chaos now disbanded? Because, like, let's be honest. Let's be real honest here. When was the last time you even really saw Ishii and Okada together with Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto? This faction is defunct. We just need to publicly.
They're all Hantai.
Like, yeah, it clearly has become a blanket. And it's very concerning to see TMDK continually not being rewarded for the amazing job that they're doing. I agree with you. I think that the title should have been dropped in this. I don't think that it should have been Ishii to take it though. I think it should have been Tanahashi because he was considered. For me, I consider him the weakest link of the three. I understand his level of importante, but that doesn't mean that you are indomitable or immovable. You are a person like them.
Or if you have a Haste pin Tanahashi, that sets up a TV title match you can have a good time with and give Tanahashi the win there. You can just have a good time with that TV title match. I would watch that match in a heartbeat.
Sure. Like anything but what happened. This is a we were given an opportunity and it was snatched from us. How many times do we have to say this was a great ride, but the results sucked?
Multiple times.
Across this and Stardom. It's crazy.
Yeah, so we're gonna get to the post match. Again, pulled this from the NJPW 1972.com. Teary-eyed Okada said that he would be vacating the Never six-man gold, thanking Ishii and Tanahashi for his first team championships before asking for support in his last 3 matches and promising the fans of Korakuen that he would see them all again someday. As he's leaving, he shakes the hands of Yano, who is on commentary, and Yoshihashi, who is sitting at ringside. And then at the curtain, hugs Tiger and Tori. So great. I love that. I love seeing him hug a Tiger Tori. But yeah, we'll talk more about Okada and his leaving the company on Japanese Wrestling Update on OLE, and also we're going to be doing we'll be talking about his match on February 11th, and we'll really get into that. Him leaving, I think, more there because then it's more final at that point, and we might even know where he's going by that point. You never know. Yeah.
And just one last thing: how much more insulting was it to have such an amazing match, have them retain, and then immediately vacate it?
Yeah.
Like that was more like that. You couldn't have said "fuck you" to these guys harder. I did not like you. I do not like green eggs and ham.
I didn't like it, Sam AM.
No.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to the main event, the final match of this first half of the tour. It is Shota Umino versus Narita.
Look at the picture. Look at that picture of Narita. The kid's so pale. He's blasted out in the picture.
And he looks slightly constipated. Like he's like, It's just so dumb. It's just like,
looks like he's realizing he has to clean up the constipation.
Well,
look at the mess.
I've never really had to clean up my constipation because that means I haven't made a mess yet.
I mean, by the look on his face, he probably hasn't either.
Yeah. Umino drop kicks Narita during his intro, takes him to the floor, running him into the barricades repeatedly. So Walker Stewart was on commentary alone on this show. He says Narita has never beaten Umino in singles action. Umino gets the STF. Narita gets to the ropes. Narita drop kicks Umino off the apron, runs him into the barricades over and over. Larry gets him over the barricade. He runs him into the post, chokes him with the push-up bar, backdrops him on the apron. Narita takes him in the crowd, smashes his face against the wall. And then I think this is where, he goes back, gets in the ring, and Umino slowly heading back to the ring, gets back in at your dreaded 19 spot. But I gotta give shit to fucking Red Shoes because he slowed his goddamn countdown for his goddamn son. It's collusion. It's cheating. He shouldn't be allowed to ref his son's matches. God,
you want Narita to win this one?
Doesn't matter. His father's cheating. The ref is cheating for his son by slowing his countdown. Fire. He should be fired. He should be fired. Fire Red Shoes. Fire Red Shoes. Fire Red Shoes.
Yeah, okay there, Trump.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa.
Right. You have way less hair. Sorry.
Yeah, come on. And at least all my hair, the hair I do have is natural. Hair plug, fucking old man. Narita, Narita gouging the eyes and running the face across the rope, slingshots him into the bottom rope. Narita unloading on Umino, goes into the corner, gets up on the second rope, or gets up on top, gets Umino up on top, but Umino slips out, and the thieving bastard steals another move from Okada and steals the cheeky Nando's kick. Goddamn bastard. He does it a couple times. Does that hop over the ropes, apron hung DDT. Umino does, looks good. And then this is where they fight up into the crowd. And Umino comes back down, takes Abe-san's table, heads back up into the stands, sets it up over the opening that's the stairs going down into the exit, and he puts it across the stuff and power bombs Narita through the goddamn table. Well, not completely through it because the table bent and broke and bent in, but he still had that metal holding it together. And Narita goes tumbling down the stairs. Just brutal fall.
Mayu Iwatani flashbacks I had. She went down a lot more stairs.
Yeah. So back in the ring, Umino gets a crossroads, inverted DDT, followed by the ignition for 2. Overhead belly to belly. Find Narita on the floor, sending Umino through a table that he set up on the barricade. Looked good. Again, this is Red Shoe slow counts the fucking 19 count again. Fucking bastard. Because he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And when he gets to 5th, like 18, he's like 18. 19.
You're doing the head bob too? I didn't notice that.
I don't know, but I'm just doing that to be just like powerful. Yeah, Red Shoes ends up taking the push-up bar from Narita because he brought it in, and this is where Narita low blows him, hits the German, gets the octopus hold, and then an exploder suplex for 2. Umino comes back with a running knee. Narita gets a running knee to the back of the head of Umino in the corner. No, sorry, Umino gets that to Narita, and then he gets a tornado DDT, followed by a cradle DDT. House torture arrived, the ref gets taken out. They can attack Umino, and as I love this man so much more for this, what he said. Walker Stewart with saying the dick to dick contact.
I vomited in my mouth a bit hearing that.
Oh my god, I laughed so hard. My dick did the upside down. Dick hits the upside down low blow to Umino. Lights go out. Tama's there to make the save, but he gets low blowed. But then Despy shows up, and Tama cutters evil, and Desperado pinche locos show. So Umino hits half and half, half twice. Narita grabs a sleeper, hits a Narita special, dropping Umino right on his head. I was like,
yeah,
oh.
That was scary. That was very scary because that could have gone so wrong for both of them so quickly.
I was scared that we had another guy out for another year right there. I was just like, oh shit. Rip cord elbow and this spinning Death Rider by Umino, but it only gets him 2. He hits the move that he thieved, the Blaze Blade in the Death Rider, and Umino is a winner. After the match, Tama tells Umino to take the Never title from Evil. And then Umino, in Japanese, promises to carry on his mantle and vowed to become the new ace for a new generation. Yeah.
There's nothing that this child will not steal.
No.
He's making a Frankenstein doll of himself where he's just like stealing the skins and stuff of everybody else and sewing them together.
Yep.
To make Shota Umino.
Yeah,
these guys had a freaking battle. This was a great match. They were just trying to beat the holy hell and shit out of each other, though.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. You could tell the intensity and just how far these two were willing to go, and how far they knew each other could go. Umino confidently powerbombed Narita through that table, knowing full well that he could take that. These guys were bruised and bloodied by the end of this. Both of them had their noses bleeding. Pretty sure Shota's mouth was bleeding at one point. There was a massive bruise across Narita's back, obviously, where he went through the table or rolled down the stairs or something. It was just so much glorious, glorious chaos. Narita is just so good. Like, I have to say, of all 3, well, now all 4 who have come back, as much as I love Tsuji and his unique style, I feel there's just something just a tiny bit more bankable about Narita's in-ring work. Maybe it's the technicality combined with that ability to have that explosive power kind of wrestling. But now that he has kind of started to find his niche and has I loved strong style, but he was definitely the least important person in that faction when he was supposed to be the most. And I think it was living in the shadow of Minoru Suzuki that was really kind of doing him in on that. Now that he's kind of in House of Torture, I've mentioned we started to see this charisma start to come out of him that maybe he was afraid to let out before, that maybe Frat House of Torture doesn't put a limit on or something. I don't know. But it's going really, really good for him. And we're seeing this like complete package of a wrestler suddenly emerging and push ahead for me in popularity anyway for the Young Lions. They just I can't I'm so surprised at how simply changing the faction has created this whole other persona and person. And now I'm sitting here going, do we do that with Shota? Do we throw him in something else and see if we can get him a personality of his own? Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see.
We will. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Again, I had a good time watching this match. Yes, I wish Umino was slightly more original than he is, but he's doing a good job. He just needs to find who he is. And maybe he is the next Charlie Haas. Maybe he's just going to steal moves for his entire career and steal people's gimmicks. I don't know. Or for a good portion of his career. Oh, when he was in WWE, he was stealing gimmicks for like 2-3 years. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember because he would wear he wore the bald cap once when he was Stone Cold and
Charlie, he was JBL and multiple times. Maybe it's Charlie Haas gimmick stealing gimmick. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, it would be funny to see. I mean, Shota already kind of looks like Tanahashi. It would be funny to see him dressed up as somebody else. Let's do it.
Yep. But it has come to that time. It's an end of another episode. You can find this guy, me, over on the X at Mastodon Blue Sky and Hi at that Canada guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk and on YouTube at youtube.com/at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. If you are not listening to us on Sunday night's main event, go check us out. If you want to hear us in audio form, if you don't want to be trapped by the video, go check us out at Sunday night's main event, SundayNight'sMainEvent.com. Check us out over there. The RSS feed is up on the website. You can also get us through their Patreon at patreon.com/SNME Radio. Lots of great content coming out over there. You got the main show on Sundays early if you're over there. And you also get, there'll be a bunch of new content coming out over there on their Patreon this year. So check them out. You can find me over on the Twitch at Our Local Establishment, where I just did the second episode of the MCU Rebound, where we talked the incredibly dull Hulk. As I like to call it. We did the Incredible Hulk with my least favorite actor, Ed Norton. Check us out over there. You can find the replay of that at youtube.com/at Our Local Establishment. We'll be back in February with some more MCU Rebound over there. You can also check us out on OLE with our brand new show, The Japanese Wrestling Update. If you want to get this show in bite-sized form, check us out over there. We discuss all the big topics going on in Japanese professional wrestling, so check that out. Usually comes out on Fridays, but could be another day, just depending on when we get it recorded and when it'll come out when it comes out over there. And don't forget, head over to Backbreaker Video to check out our boy Mike the Ref. You can find him at youtube.com/at Backbreaker Video. You can also find all his live content at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. And if you want to, with all his great AEW sidecast and his great live gaming content. If you want to see replays of his gaming content, go to youtube.com/at Backbreaker_gaming, where you can find him, Mr. PJC, Mr. Rick Jules, and their freaking guest, Miss Kayla J.
Kayla J. Love Kayla J.
Yes, we do. Melball.
Yes.
We're going to find you.
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can find her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can find her on everything else, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on Our Local Establishments programming, Spooky Yuki-ish, coming soon, where we're gonna just talk some weird spooky stuff about some weird shit floating around on the internet. So stick to our socials to see about when that's coming out. You can also find me on Astrid Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. Astrid is actually in, what city is the Royal Rumble in this year?
Somewhere in Florida.
Yes, because she didn't have to drive terribly far to get there. I think it was Tampa. Is it Tampa?
Fort Lauderdale? I don't know.
It's somewhere in Florida, but she's there, and I hope that she's okay. She is going to be doing media down there, so we won't be doing a ladies wrestling showcase this week. We will be doing it next week. Where if you if you know, you know. We got some stuff we need to talk about.
St. Petersburg, Florida, by the way.
There you go. Somewhere saintly, because the Astrid is a saint. Well, if you're wanting to watch NJPW Wrestling, we will leave a link in the description box below. It is njpwworld.com. It is 999 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian. Shout out Sean Spears, but it's more like 950 according to this guy over here. But that's still an amazing price to watch some amazing professional wrestling. You can watch all of the shows that we talked about today. You can go back and watch the New Beginning tour from last year. I think that was when we started to see the emergence of David Finley's attitude. So see what was going on in there, to see what happened to form the War Dogs, as Andre is just shimmy shammying over there. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank y'all so much for all the great support here on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, on Backbreaker Video, and on Sunday night's main event. So yeah, please, if you're watching on the YouTube, if you're listening on Sunday night's main event, please subscribe to the channel and hit that RSS feed. You can lots of great content over there. Check out the Patreon at patreon.com/SME Lots of great content coming there, with a bunch of brand new content coming out this year. And if you're watching us on Backbreaker Video or on Melball Wrestling Talk, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Please share us out to all your friends and family and all the strangers. And please hit the notification bell to be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
And that being said, I am your Melba. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.